40% of North Carolina consists of rural communities who lack access to cities, which provide essential services like healthcare, education, and work opportunities. Due to high fuel and car maintenance costs, the average 2-hour commute is a major financial strain for rural families who depend on personal vehicles for access to urban amenities. However, 80% of rural commuters still rely on personal vehicles due to poor public transport accessibility, emitting 4.6 metric tons of hazardous carbon dioxide per year. I'm Keena.
And I'm Ahan, Kaul, and we seek to reform rural transportation sustainably by connecting rural passengers to existing public transport stations via carpooling. Making public transit more accessible will help rural North Carolinians connect to essential services and ditch their personal polluting vehicles. We propose using a smart algorithm to group rural passengers into pods so that they can ride share using their own cars to public transit stations where they will begin their trip. Our app, Community Connector, will help link passengers together and assign a random driver for every trip. Users will then be grouped based on start point, final destination, preferred method of public transport, and ideal arrival time to generate the most efficient and least costly travel route. Flexible commuters, such as those needing to make a one time trip to the hospital, can change their parameters to join a new group, whereas commuters operating on a regular schedule will have the option to remain in a fixed group.
To make healthcare and secondary educational opportunities more accessible, we will partner with hospitals and community colleges like Wake Tech. By increasing the number of new patients at hospitals and increasing matriculation at colleges, Community Connector will generate extra profit for these institutions, who will then sponsor expenses like gas and train transit tickets. Our social incentive to use the app will be community networking. We will elect community sponsors to help us do outreach in churches, social clubs, neighborhood groups, and schools. As accessibility is integral to our mission, individuals without reliable internet access or smartphones can access our online platform at local libraries. In addition, we hope to implement subsidies for gas and a frequent user discount on bus and train tickets.
Community Connector is extremely sustainable, financially and environmentally, for both users and the general public. Public transit users can save over $10,000 annually. A household can reduce its total greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by shifting from two vehicles to one, as can occur if they move from an automobile dependent community to a transit oriented one. By reducing vehicle travel, easing congestion, and supporting efficient land use patterns, ride sharing and public transportation can cut over 50 million metric tons of CO2 equivalent emissions annually. Employing this app across rural areas of the United States will help make public transport infrastructure accessible and financially favorable, while significantly reducing the transport industry's carbon emissions. Let's sustainably mobilize North Carolina's rural commuters with Community Connector.